All right, so our goal here is going to be to walk this dog and not let any frustration bleed over into your training session. Sometimes, and I run into this a lot, with high-performing individuals, right? So your whole life, you were good at school, then you were good at doctor school, then you go be a doctor, right? So you're used to being in a situation where the harder you work and the more you study, the better the results are going to be. Okay, well, dog training is not like that because it's a relationship. So it's part about how you're doing and it's part about how the dog's doing. And so there's going to be times where you're doing a little better and the dog's doing a little worse, or the dog's doing a little better and you're doing a little worse. So, like, I know it's a dog, but you can't treat the dog like it's an input box. You got to treat the dog like it's a dance partner. All right, so now I want you to go dance with this dog, and I want you not to get frustrated if some toes get stepped on. All right, so easy. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to get in a little bit of a flow here so that as you're walking with them, you can gently drape the leash over your hand. So here, all right, start over right here again. And this is where some of that frustration will start to get you, right here. So again, overachiever person used to doing everything right, okay? Pressure gets on you because we're videoing, and you start doing the course completely opposite of how the dog's used to doing it. Well, when the dog doesn't do well in that situation, you're gonna, and it'll just happen, you're gonna inadvertently blame the dog for not doing well when you did the course exactly wrong there, right? So you gotta be careful because blame externalization is a real phenomenon, right? So you're gonna come off of this, table, and you're gonna take a semicircle, and you're gonna get on the small examination table. Easy, very nice. You're going to put him up on the examination table, feet on the block, like we're at the vet, and then I'm going to come over and we're going to do a cursory physical examination. Head up, eyes out, just chill, confident at the vet, good. Ears, eyes, teeth, spine, privates, belly, chest, joints, and toes, very nice. That'll be $900. I will see you later. So you're going to leave the vet, you're going to gently go off of the exam table there. Good, keeping all the obstacles on your left.
Easy.
There you go. Now it's very important that you talk to the dog in a way that keeps him motivated and makes it clear to him what your expectations are as you're navigating this course. Good, very good. Try to have your head up and your eyes out. You're just out for a walk. There happens to be some physical impediments in front of the dog. Dog needs to learn how to navigate the world without you having to micromanage him, without you having to baby him constantly. Very nice, easy. Very good. Easy on your way down. Up, up, up. Good. Very nice. And this is what we call a leash transfer, right? So now what you would do if you're at the vet is you probably wouldn't just lay your leash down. Now, of course, you know, you'll get to where your dog's so well trained you can, but we want to encourage a patient like wait while we transfer leashes, because there might be some paperwork that gets handed. So you might hand me a leash, I hand you some paperwork, or vice versa. You know, so these leash transfers are very important. Very nice. Okay, now if you can recruit other people to help you, like I'm helping you here, that's great. But don't count on that, because the one thing that's going to be true over the whole course of your training life with the dog is that you're going to care more than anybody else about everything except just basic manners, right? So basic manners trumps everything. So anybody that you can get to help you, that's great. And if you can't get anybody to help you, that's fine. You know what I mean? That's going to be normal. What I like to do, Charlotte, come over here. I like to recruit kids, right? Kids usually have, go over there, do a leash transfer, and then walk that dog on the course. I like to recruit children because usually, like, kids would all like to have a dog, and most of them don't have one, but if they do have one, it usually doesn't mind very good. So the great thing about having a dog that has good leash manners is that you can just go out in public, and like kids will come up and they'll say, hey, can I pet this dog? And you'll be like, yeah, you can pet him. Here, you can take him for a walk. He likes to climb rock piles. He likes to go up the bleachers. He likes to play in the creek. You know, go have a good time with him. And if your dog is well socialized and has good manners, then that is a 360-degree win, because the child gets to interact with a dog that minds well. The dog gets to interact with more people, which is always fun. You like to talk to new people,
yeah.
You know, and you get your dog exercised.
Yeah.
So by the time you get back home, your dog is spent all of his energy in a proactive manner. So there's no energy left over to chew the rug or to bark at the neighbors or to dig in your shrubbery. Now, when you are out and you can talk some kids into walking your dog, you do not micromanage.
Yes.
They're not going to be good at it. You don't care, right? You just, like, if the kid's not crying and the dog's not making weird noises, then everything's fine, you know. And remember, dogs are not fragile. We treat dogs and children nowadays like they're fragile and they can't work anything out for themselves. But the history of dogs and children is working things out for yourself, you know, and this is really good. So you're going to, you know, you're going to hand your leash to a kid and you're going to feel like the kid's being too rough or this or that. Don't worry about it. That's the whole history of dogs and children, is children dragging dogs around on a leash and the dogs learning to adapt and do well. Now, if it's a good kid and you can consistently interact with them, then over the course of just a few sessions, you can teach them good leash manners, you know, okay? And it'll get really, really good. And then once you kind of have your basic obedience down, then you can start to introduce retrieving. Now, we don't want to have the children interact with the dog using the tugging or retrieving items in the beginning, because they might get a little rough, and a lot of kids are like a little bit soft now. But maybe after you've had a child walk a dog 4 or 5 different days, then you bring out your retrieving items, and then you're in perfect spot. Because then you just take your dog for a nice little stroll down to your neighborhood park, and it's hot. You don't want to get all hot and sweaty, but you need to exercise the dog. Kids come over, hey ma'am, can I play with your dog? And you're like, yeah, let's do a little obedience first, but if he's good at doing obedience, then I want you to play fetch with him.
Okay.
So we get our obedience, we get our exercise, we make the kids happy, and we get to be happy watching the kids and the dogs interact. And some poor mom with an extra kid over there is excited because, you know, her kid got to do something fun that day. You know, and that's what we're after, 360-degree winds every day. Very nice. Okay, put him on the exam table, Charlotte, and then he'll be off work. And this is a very, very important concept with your dog training, is to let them be off work. You know, like, if they're being good, they deserve their free time. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, too often, people are very reductionist with their dog training. They try to reduce the positive reinforcement aspects of dog training to the food or the tug or the petting or whatever. But really, dogs just like you, they just want some free time. You know, so I'll make a deal with you. We're going to go out. If you walk nice on the leash, you get done what needs to get done. Then you're off work and you can do anything you want that's not dangerous, destructive, or rude. All right. Very nice. Very nice session.
Oh, he's so beautiful. I can't believe how big he's gotten.
Oh my God, you know you're in trouble when you're constantly talking about how beautiful your dog is. It makes it impossible to hold him to a high standard. Miss America, don't cook eggs. I'm just telling you, just remember that now, you know.